Today we're looking at the Mayan civilization and we're going to go for a Drush FC into archers. Now with the Mayans, the opening is really crucial. It's different from most other civs. Now you need to start off by actually getting loom first, and then getting 2 of the villagers to build a house, 1 villager to build the second house, and the villager in the middle is going to start taking sheep as soon as you can. So let's get that ball rolling. Remember, loom first, 1 house, second house, and start taking the sheep. Now you need to scout with your Eagle Scout, make sure you get all your herdables early. That's the start done, and after that it's actually very much similar to the 29+2 population build order that I have for a generic civ. So do check that out in the playlist if you're interested. Now one of the benefits that Mayans get is that they have cheaper archers, and the Eagle Scout of course has the extra line of sight, so a Drush can be really effective here because you should have quite a good time to scout your base and your herdables and then move on to scouting your opponent, something to get some intel on what you can hit with your Drush. So we start off with your standard 6 on sheep, and then we're going to start getting 2 villagers to go to the wood line. Now apart from just that initial opening, this build order is basically the same as the first 16 villagers for the man-at-arms into archers build order that we have on the playlist. And I've done that for a reason, is to create some muscle memory, just so that it gives you some time within a game to really decide what strategy you want to do, because of course you have to adapt. Drush FC, you kind of have to be careful. You need to make sure you've got a fairly wallable map, and you need to think about what your opponent's going to go. If your opponent's going to go for scouts most likely, then it's quite viable as an option. So we have 6 underneath the TC, we're going to send 2 to the woodline, and then the next villager is going to grab the first boar. The next 2 villagers are going to go to the woodline to make 4 on wood in total for now. Alright, well let's speed things up, shall we? Okay, the boar's underneath the TC, and there's the 4th villager now to wood. Now the next villager is going to go towards the berries and is going to drop 2 houses that will act as part of the wall. And then that villager will go to berries. The next villager after that will go to the berries and build a mill. And the next villager is going to grab the second boar. Make sure you're dropping off food from underneath the TC so you can keep the TC running. There's that villager. Now the next 2 villagers are going to go to berries as well. Make 4 on berries in total. Okay, a little bit messy this one, but got it underneath the TC in the end. So there's 4 villagers on berries. Now the next villager is going to go forward and build a house and then a barracks when you can afford it. I'm going to wall to the TC here to try and save some wood. And the next villager from the TC is going to grab 10 gold and then we'll go to berries. The villager after this one will go to wall up the base. So we're going to go for a wall here from here to here, so we've got this back goal nice and protected. There's that villager. Now the next 4 villagers will go to wood to make a total of 8 on wood. So there's the barracks now. That villager's come back from collecting 10 gold, so it's going to go to berries. We'll build another house after the barracks, and once the barracks is built we click 3 militia. Make sure you shift click your villagers underneath the TC to sheep. There's the barracks made, and 3 militia are clicked, and we're slowly going to get up to 8 villagers on wood here, and this villager is going to continue walling up the base, so we're going to wall from here to there and then across to the edge of the map. Okay, so now we have 7 on wood. There's the 8th. Now after you have 8 villagers on wood, the next 3 villagers will go to berries. You have 5 already, you had 4 to start off with, and then you had that one that went from the gold to the berries. The next 3 to make 8 in total go to berries. You will have had your Drush go forward now, so you want to try and cause some harassment. Probably go for berries, maybe a wood line, see what you can get. The main thing is try and keep your Drush as alive as possible for as long as possible. We're walling from that wood line to the TC. Now the walling villagers, once they've done their section, are going to go to wood. This village is nearly done, we'll go to wood as well. Now once the villagers will come up for the berries to make 8 in total, you're going to have the next 3 villagers go to gold. You build a mining camp, and then you have 3 in total on gold before we click up. Okay, so we've clicked up to Feudal Age. Now what we want to do is we want to take villagers from underneath the TC and start dropping farms. And the remaining villagers will go to Straggler Tree and just drop the farms as soon as you can afford them. Try and keep it as efficient as you can. I know you're going to be fighting on the front with the Drush. And you'll need to take 1 villager from the berries to drop a farm as well by the mill. Bit delayed with this villager, that's okay, but as you can hear the notification there, we're fighting out front. We've got a villager pick and we run away. We just want to kind of hit and move with the Drush. Okay, and eventually that farm goes down. So in total you would have dropped 9 farms. And these villagers will go and take the berries, and then eventually 2 of these villagers will go to build the archery range and the blacksmith. And the remaining 5 villagers will go to gold. The new villagers from the TC will go to wood. And here we are, we've prepped 2 villagers to build the archery range and the blacksmith. And the villagers now are starting to go to wood. We're keeping our Drush active already still. And don't forget as well, once these 2 buildings are produced, you click up to Castle Age and you'll start to want to build houses and your second archery range. Now these villagers will eventually go to gold, but just get yourself fully walled up, build a house, archery range, house, and you'll soon start to be able to pump out some archers. Now the 5 villagers from the berries are now going to gold, and that's exactly what you need at this point. You need gold. Now they come forward with some archers and a skirmisher here. It's a bit annoying, but we managed to kind of hold them off for a while because we walled to the TC. And we don't lose a vill, but we get our second archery range up. Now at this point we're actually pretty well walled, so it shouldn't be a problem. We're going to be able to start getting archers out. We've got fletching, double archery range production, so we should be able to mop this up pretty quickly. You can see on the upgrades they have fletching as well, so we just can't engage just yet. Now that kind of, well, it basically builds, that's the build order really. You've got the crossbowman upgrade coming in, and at this point you've got a couple of options. You may want to take some villagers off wood to go to gold to keep up with the archer production, or you may want to think about dropping a TC, maybe even 2 TCs, because you can afford that now with the wood. You will need to drop plenty of farms though if you do that. Usually you'd expect to have about 6 farms per TC to keep it running and active. But at this stage we're pretty safe, and we've got double archery range production, so we've got a couple of options. You can either go for the boom approach with the 2 TCs, or a bit more aggressive, keep the 2 archery range producing, get a university and ballistics. On the way up we got double bit axe and the gold mining upgrade, of course, and don't forget as well, from the blacksmith you'll want to get bodkin for your crossbow. So hope you enjoyed that video and find it useful. Let me know what you thought about the build order, if it's something you'll try on the rank ladder, and if you have tried it, how did you get on with it? Love to hear it. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and see you on the next video.